Welcome back to It Resolves, where we play a new deck every single day. Today's deck is Mardu Angels. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Here at It Resolves, we love to play new decks, have some fun, and hopefully learn a little something along the way. If that sounds like your cup of tea, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. As we're jumping into the holidays, you may see less frequent videos, but obviously after the January 1st, New Year's Eve, and all that stuff, we will be jumping back into our normal schedule, along with hopefully some returning old content that we haven't done in quite some time, and maybe even some new stuff along the way. If that all sounds exciting to you, please again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video if you enjoy it. But let's talk through today's deck. This was actually played in a tournament. It was pulled from MTG Top 8. I will try and remember to link that down below. This is a really interesting deck. It's obviously made for traditional standard. We do have a full sideboard here, so if you want to take it on the best of 3, you certainly can. But I've been using it here on best of 1, and I've actually enjoyed it a lot. Obviously a heavy skew towards white, so when I say Mardu, I do mean that slightly more on the light side, but this is a very strong deck, and we'll kind of talk through the play patterns here a little bit first. So, in an ideal world, what we are able to do is get Giada down early, which will help us to get to something like a Seraph Paragon or an Archangel a little bit faster, or even more importantly, a Steel Seraph or a Sanctuary Warden. Now, those are all kind of our big powerhouse threats that are looking to finish the game very quickly, but we also feature a lot of control elements, which is kind of nice. We do have the Wandering Emperor here, which plays both parts. It gives us a little bit of an aggressive side with the ability to exile a tapped creature on the opponent's side if need be. We also have Infernal Grasp here, able to just deal with a creature right off the bat if we need it to, and Reckoner Bankbuster here to draw us some cards and eventually get us to, you know, a little token and all that stuff. We do have Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so this is really for our red splash, along with, of course, the Archangel. This is going to help ramp us as well, going to dig us into the deck, and allow us to copy some of our creatures, which, if you don't know, is really good when you've got something like Steel Seraph down, which gives a lot of little buffs along the way. So through beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, or Lifelink until the end of the turn. Getting the ability to double up on this with the reflection of Kiki Jiki by spitting out an extra token is really, really good, and allows us to go ahead and gain a lot more life in that process. Now, we do also have 2 depopulates in case we find ourselves against a very aggressive deck. This gives us an out, so we do want to make sure we're not over-committing too much to the board, but even if we do, that Seraph Paragon allows us to bring a lot of it back, which is super, super helpful. Finally, we do have Elspeth Resplendent, obviously, again, helping us on that aggressive side, giving 1/1 counters, working with the Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, or Vigilance, all great options. That -3 will help us rebuild, but crucially, that -7 is really where we would like to get to. Now, naturally, that's not always the way it's going to go, but that certainly is the best ability for us because we can push out so much damage with that very quickly. As far as tech in the land slot, we do have Iganjo here as well as Crucible. And then we do actually have 2 Roadside Reliquaries. Given that we do have a lot of artifacts and, of course, the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, we do have options to get some enchantments and artifacts on the field to be able to draw 2 cards off of this. Most often, I've been able to draw 1, which is perfectly fine as well, but either way, we should be able to draw a little bit into this deck and hopefully finish the game quickly. So, let's see what we can do, guys. We're going to have a blast with this one today. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's have a great Monday. Let's see what we can do. Alright, guys, and here we are for game number 1. Now, this is a bit of an odd hand, but I will try and keep it based on the fact that we do have Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Keeping in mind here, our curve starts at 2, and so anytime you have something at 3, you're probably not doing too bad, and because this actually can help ramp us, there is a world where we might even get further into it. So, we will try for this. I guess we'll just go ahead and play this, representing a removal spell at the best of times. This is definitely going to be the Soldiers deck, which is a scary deck for sure. But it looks like they might not have a great... Yeah, it looks like not a great follow-up play, which is great for us. So, let's see. We could just throw out the 3/3, hoping to deal with one of these. However, I think I'd actually rather go here. Potentially just trading this off because we do need to stave off a little bit of damage here, but we do open up the Wandering Emperor next turn, of course, and that is going to be quite helpful for us. Sure, that's fine. Not great, of course, but it's not the end of the world. So they are going to probably just pump each other up, which is fine. They get 2 things there, 2 hits in, that's fine. Awesome. Do we want to discard any cards? I think I'll discard 1 land just to see what we get. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and throw this down. Do we just play Giada and then hope for the best, or do we go for the Wandering Emperor play? I think we're gonna go Wandering Emperor and go ahead and exile something. Keeping in mind here, guys, we do want to play something on our turn because of that Brutal Cathar, right? So we do kind of have to force the issue here. They will still be able to kill the Wandering Emperor, but at least we got something off the field, and I think that's more important right now. This is an interesting deck, though, considering that I guess this is a soldier, but they haven't really played that much, like, Lord stuff, nothing like that, which is kind of interesting. Would have normally expected something like that, so we'll see how this ends up going. But next turn we do have Giada plus Steel Seraph if we would like it. We may have to take a damage to do it, but that's not the end of the world. And then of course we do get the flipped card here. Okay, that is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. We will go Giada. And we will go ahead and throw this out, auto-paying, of course, so we do take a damage. It does enter as a 4/4, which is quite nice. And I mean, here it really doesn't matter. We can just go here and give it lifelink. But we do at least have a blocker here, so if they want to attack in, they are going to have to... okay, well, that's worse. That's much, much worse. I'm curious... Actually, if they attack with this, I think we just kill it. Or attempt to kill it, we'll say. That's so good. Okay, so what can we do? I think we block like this, and then like this. Just to get as much off the board as we possibly can. I'm assuming they're going to kill the Steel Seraph, which is kind of fine because we do have the Sanctuary Warden coming down. I'm curious to see if they just have a kill spell as well. They do. Ugh, that's terrible. They are just steamrolling us, unfortunately. We really don't have a lot we can do here, which is pretty terrible, but it's fine. We will do this, but we already lost, unfortunately. So I will go ahead and good game them here. And guys, let's not waste any time. Let's get into a game 2. What's up, guys? Just a quick break from the video to remind you that through the end of December, we will have our new proxy pack available via our Patreon rewards and select tiers. In celebration of Phyrexia All Will Be One coming early next year, we have the amazing Original Praetors as our Patreon rewards this month. Now, those include my all-time favorite card, Elishnorn, with Jenga Taxis, Sheoldred, and Vorinclex. Again, if you're interested in picking these up, guys, we really would appreciate the support, and it's a great way to pick up these awesome proxies every single month. You can do so at patreon.com/itresolves. Without further ado, though, let's jump right back into the video. All right, guys, and here we are for game number 2. Let's see if we can do a little better this time. I do, again, because we've got the 3 and 2 4-drops, I think this is okay-ish to keep. It's not ideal for sure, but we do have all of our colors of mana on turn 2 as well, so if they happen to play something, well, if we happen to draw something, which we didn't, we would have been able to play it, but that's okay. They're also playing a little bit slowly, so that's actually not too bad for us. Let's go ahead and throw this out, and we'll of course just play our own Fable of the Mirror Breaker. If they find a way to deal with it, we do have the Sarah Paragon, so we do have options, of course, to be able to solve that, but we'll see what they do this turn. Also, if they attack in, I don't think we block. Given that we have the Wandering Emperor, and we're not really incentivized to play the Sarah Paragon at this point in the game, I think we'll probably end up going that route and just dealing with the Shaman that way. Looks like they have a solution for ours anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's fine. We will be able to gain this 2 life back, so that's not a huge deal. I'm more worried about like a Sheoldred or something along those lines coming down. That would, I think, be scary enough that we just wait on the Wandering Emperor. Wow, an Ob Nixilis. Okay, sick. Did not expect Ob Nixilis, I'll be honest. I haven't seen a lot of Ob Nixilis in a very long time. And so this is definitely a bit of an odd one, but I'm okay with that. Go ahead and discard a land. That's no big deal. Interesting. Huh. I think I decline. I don't actually think I want to discard anything here. Do we think they have a removal spell is the worry, right? What's in our graveyard? Just a land. I think with that in mind, we will just go here and minus the Wandering Emperor to get a 2/2 down. Obviously, we can block that Devil token if we would like, but obviously then they just kill the token. That might be okay, but I don't know that we actually want to do that at this point. I think we'd much rather wait. So they do get the reflection flipped, and we'll see what they've got. Interesting to see Ob Nixilis. Again, just not a card that's been on my radar recently. It's not that I think it's a bad card. Obviously, Ob Nixilis is phenomenal. I just haven't seen it, you know? But well done, opponent, for playing such a cool card. I love seeing it. So they are, I'm assuming, gonna attack the Wandering Emperor. I might be wrong in that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna decline. They can deal 2 here. And I'm assuming they're just gonna do it again. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Can they? I'm a little surprised they didn't. These do not have haste. Okay. So that might be why. I was gonna say they could have minus just to get 2 damage in, but that actually doesn't work because it doesn't have haste. I'm used to these little devils having haste. I would absolutely love one of our 2 depopulates at the moment. That would be phenomenal. All right, let's go here for sure. We'll go here. Plus up, I think, on the reflection. So that way they can't kill it with the Blood Tithe Harvester. Or in fact, the Devil. And again, it doesn't matter which way we go here because we obviously can't attack, so it really doesn't matter. All right. We'll see. I mean, I don't have high hopes, but they do only have 2 cards in hand. I guess what they could do is use the reflection, copy the Harvester, kill the new Harvester for one of these guys, which would be very good. Looks like they're going to kill the reflection. Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's fine-ish. That's very good. That's going to be able to really, really suit up and get further into the deck. That also really ruins our Sarah Paragon play. So, we'll see what we can do. That might mean we just discard the Sarah Paragon, but I kind of don't want to, given we need probably every creature we can get. I'm going to decline again. I know that sucks, but we'll see. And I don't think we are able to block here, so if they do attack, I think we just let the Wandering Emperor go down, which I'm assuming is what they're going to go for. But we definitely have to get these Ob Nixilis cards off of the field. Do we think this is a burn spell is the question. I'm going to say no blocks. Let all that go through. I'm not 100%. That could have just been a play with fire or something, which would have been able to then, of course, deal with the Steel Seraph. So I'm not super interested in allowing that to happen. Okay, so let's do this first. I think we actually give it Vigilance, potentially. Lifelink would be super helpful, though, so I'm not 100% sure. It might just be Lifelink. Let's go there. And we will go ahead and take this one down just to be able to get one of these activations out of the way, right? So we are just trying to avoid completely dying here. And we'll get the Sanctuary Warden down. I will go ahead and remove one of these. We need to draw further into the deck. We need to find ways to answer all of this. And we kind of just need creatures, right? Like, they've only got 2 cards in hand here. Which is helpful because that just means chances are they won't have an answer to everything at once. Now they might, they very well might, but hopefully they don't. Okay. I think it's just the land actually here. Just to avoid the life loss, I do think that's kind of crucial right now, given how much just scary stuff they've got going on. They can just kill the Steel Seraph now. They can't just kill the Sanctuary Warden, which is helpful. But they also have to be wary about the crackback, right? So we should be able to deal with the Ob Nixilis here at some point. The Wandering Emperor can also come down and deal with the Reflection, which is nice. Okay, so... Oh, no, it... Really? Oh, because it's... Is it because it's minus... Yeah, it's minus X, so that does work. And they're gonna kill that. Wow. Okay. Aggressive. Very aggressive. Probably not a bad play, though. Interesting. This is turning into a very fascinating game. Wow. They are wrecking us. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see what happens. So they do have one more mana. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. Duress would be terrible. Yep, take him one. Sure. Let's see. So what's the best option? They do just have the unlicensed hearse available. So I think we have to go here first. And deal with the Reflection, but chances are they're going to be able to kill us with that, so that's a little scary. Let's get that out of the way. Theoretically. They do have to have a crew of 2, so that actually does knock the unlicensed hearse down a peg. And this could give us a attacker next turn, depending on how this next turn goes, so we'll see. All right. I do anticipate them just going for the Wandering Emperor kill, and not really worrying about this quite so much, which is fine. Again, we're not going to discard here. We obviously need to decline. We need the Sarah Paragon to be able to crew up the Bank Buster to be able to start taking down this Ob Nixilis, so that's really our only hope. The Unlicensed Hearse, we basically just have to hope they don't have a creature that can crew it. And it looks like they're going to blitz here, so they will have less of a chance of that happening, which is good. Farewell would be an interesting include in this list. Being able to just kind of wreck the board, and in this state where you are so far behind, would be a very helpful, like, 1 or 2 of here. Normally, I think depopulate's enough, I'll be honest, but I do think that there is some legitimacy to giving that a shot as well. Interesting that they I mean, that makes sense. They just crewed up with the Tenacious Underdog versus actually doing anything crazy there. The problem is we now, I think, are just going to lose regardless, no matter what we do, right? So, play that, play that. We do get to crew this up, but they just get to Tenacious Underdog, crew this up, and then we just die. So there's really nothing we can do here, sadly. Good game on the opponent's end. I'm actually not even going to worry about it. Let's go ahead and go into a game 3. We got plenty of time. Let's see if we can get another win, or a win, I should say. Alright guys, here we are for game number 3. Let's see what we can do. I don't love the fact that we've got so many tapped lands here, but the depopulate really does help quite a bit, so I will keep this. We should go for the black source here to make sure that if we do draw an untapped land, we have the ability to play the Infernal Grasp. I'm just going to go for the Bank Buster here. It looks like this is going to be Grixis Control, or something along those lines at the very least, so anything that gives us some incremental value I feel like is probably worthwhile going for. For sure. Very good. Alright. Let's go ahead and Sundown Pass. I think... I guess we just wait and potentially just Infernal Grasp this. We could have done it at the end of our turn just to avoid a counter spell, of course. But I kind of just want to allow for the counter spell, if they've got it, to burn this, because we do have the depopulate at some point. I assume they take the Wandering Emperor here. Yep. I mean, between Depopulate and the Wandering Emperor, against a Grixis control list, I would think the Wandering Emperor is probably the best bet. And it looks like that's the case, so. All right, let's do this first. Just to see what we draw. Ooh, I do really like that. All right, so let's play the land they know about. So let's make sure we're giving them as little information as possible. They did not see the Haunted Ridge or the Archangel, so this gives them the least amount of information, which is obviously helpful. Interesting. Okay. Again, keeping as much information concealed as possible. And I actually think we just pass. We have the Wandering Emperor available. Little worrisome if, of course, they do have a way of discarding this, but I think they probably would have gone for it by now, so they are going to go for the attack. Hopefully they just don't have a counter spell. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But if they do counter this, we do just have Depopulate, of course, available, so that's fine. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. We do have answers, of course, so it's helpful. Yep. Play the Ridge, play the Depopulate, and hope for the best. If they do have another Make Disappear, we'd be able to answer it, so that was good. And now we just get to pass. And again, we're leaving up the mana to signify a potential Infernal Grasp or something along those lines. Chances are they're not really going to play around it, but we do kind of have to give ourselves the best possible chance, right? So this, we're going to draw before, of course, the Shieldred hits the battlefield. That's helpful. And now we basically just have to hope for the best. That is not the best. Okay. So, what's our answer? Do we even have an answer? I mean, I think our best bet is to just do this. We will not use the ability here. So we'll just decline. And hope for the best. I think that's the only thing we can really do. I do appreciate the fact that this has shield counters on it, because it might stave off an attack from them, which is great, which might buy us a turn or two. We will see. Okay. Now we do have a really great opportunity to throw this down and hope we can give the Sanctuary Warden lifelink, which in that case allows us to kind of offset some of the damage here, and then if we had to trade off, we could. Looks like they're not going to give us the opportunity, of course, which is right on their end. We should have played the land first. We will go ahead and play it now. That was just a silly mistake. I was trying to hold on to the Ganjo, I guess, but I just, feels terrible, and we can't attack. Unfortunately, we just die in a few turns, so this is going to be really tricky. All right, they did get one shield counter off, which is scary. That might mean they have a solution here, but it is going to take at least 2 spells. Or a spell and an attack, potentially, but we'll see. They are just, meanwhile, gaining tons and tons of life off of the Shieldred. Shieldred is like the bane of Standard right now. I can't believe Mono Black is going to get Phyrexian Obliterator in Standard again. Is anybody else, like, what? Mono Black didn't need anything else. Okay. All right, so I think the solution is going to be we have to Archangel of Wrath, and we will just have to ping them for as much as we can to be able to gain some life back and then theoretically get in for some damage. I think that's our best bet. At the very least, they didn't have a counterspell, so that's good. And they already burned to go for the throat, which is helpful as well. A braid, huh? I guess we don't crew that up, right? So they do have a couple of spells here to be able to deal with this Archangel, I assume. Interesting. Okay. Well, we still gained some life, so that's helpful-ish. And we just throw a Reckoner Bankbuster down, and now we hope for the best. What do we need? What do we need? Another Depopulate would be great. Infernal Grasp would help. That does not help. We might just have to risk the play here. Okay. Well, I mean, it works-ish. Please don't have a counterspell. Come on. Come on. They had the exact... that feels terrible. That feels really bad. Yeah. I mean, we can't risk the attack. We can't even get an Infernal Grasp now. Sarah Paragon would be nice. Sanctuary Warden. That's not gonna do it. I can't believe it. Oh, that feels so bad. That's terrible. Man, we were not able to do this. Look, I'm just gonna kill ourselves. Suicide kill, why not? All right, well, that was an unfortunate run of games, guys. We did not get a single win. So let's talk about this deck. All right, guys, so unfortunately, a really bad run of a few games here. Truthfully, I don't think this deck is as bad as these runs would have you believe. I practiced with this deck probably 5 games. I won all 5 games, so I was actually anticipating the complete opposite. I was thinking we might even get an undefeated run with this deck. Unfortunately, we didn't. I do think there is some tweaking to do for the best of 1 ladder. I think that's kind of where the core of the issues might be. We're obviously expecting to be up against a lot of, you know, aggro-y decks, very fast decks, or in the case of this in particular, that last game, decks that are really hell-bent on getting 1 card down that's really adding a lot of value to the board and long-term game plan of whatever the opponent is playing. Shieldred as the prime example. In that case, I do think you need other removal options. Depopulate is good, but when you've already got like good solid answers on the board, you kind of just want something that's going to say, hey, nope, that's gone. And in that sense, I think there are a few other options that we could, of course, look at, some of the white removal spells, and that might honestly even free up some of that black mana to make this more of just like a Boros-ish with a splash of black for the Archangel. Now, that being said, I still think this deck is a really fun list. I like seeing Angels back a little bit because, again, we don't normally see, like, right now, Angels isn't the deck to play, if that makes sense. And so in that sense, it's a really fun deck to play. It's a really different deck to play, and I like that. And so I do encourage you guys, try this out, tech it out, do it the way you want to do it. But I think building around this shell, there's a lot there. There's a lot of benefit to it, stuff that hopefully you guys can enjoy. So all that being said, guys, I do really appreciate you all watching. Again, over the course of the next week or so, 2 weeks, we'll probably see less videos here and there just because it's the holidays. I want to enjoy my family time, and I want you guys to enjoy your family time as much as you can. So please do take that time, enjoy it with your family. Don't worry about the videos. Don't worry about keeping up with us. We will be back, of course, after the start of the new year. And I know John, I think, is kind of on a similar schedule, so I don't think he's planning to do as much at the very least. I don't want to speak for him, of course, but do stay tuned, guys. We will have more videos at least throughout this week, and then hopefully, again, we'll see you guys after the start of the year. So thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic Monday. I love you all very much. Have a great holiday season.